Since I'm doing another Cormac McCarthy, thought I'd go the full way and wear my cowboy hat. This is After Dark from 1968. Before I get into any spoilers, I do like this book. However, I would strongly suggest that you read the Borderlands Trilogy first. The Borderlands Trilogy and Blood Meridian have a hook, and that hook will keep you reading, whereas this one, even though it's short, I found a bit more challenging to get through. I just didn't have that strong desire like I had with those books. Now that that's out of the way, I'm going to get into some spoilers, so if you would like to read it, go ahead and pause the video now. For those that aren't interested, what happens in this book? Well, there is an incestuous relationship which leads to a child, and the brother, who is the father of this child, has just decided to abandon it in the woods, and the sister knows that it's still around and has this innate drive to go after it. This book is really a sort of duality, a split between these two, where the brother, his entire life is defined by his shunning of responsibility and aimless wandering, whereas the sister is wandering for a goal. She's on the trail of this person who has her offspring, and she won't stop. She can't stop until she gets it. Now, I won't spoil the ending, but let's just say it's not a happy family reunion. This book is very compelling in the sort of analysis. I did find it very difficult to identify with the characters. This brother, his name's Cullen, he's just sort of ambling around, he's wandering, and I actually think that's okay when you're young, right? If you want to wander around, see a bit of the world, sample some things, kind of work out what's going on, that's fine. But at some point you have to say, okay, I'm going to take this cause on, and I'm going to improve myself, and I'm going to become something of value. Cullen never does that, of course. In fact, Cullen is constantly getting into trouble because he doesn't. He has the opportunity to work for someone with money, he just decides to steal his boots and leave. It's so cheap, it's so short-sighted, and he's making himself enemies that he really can't afford to have. He could have left without stealing the boots, that would have been fine. As you'll see, that they don't really benefit him in the long run. Now, the sister is different. The sister is a much more sympathetic character. She knows that this is wrong. She knows that the relationship is sinful. I believe it's hinted in the text that she's ashamed of it, but she just has to keep going. And she really, she doesn't want to take medical aid because she thinks that she's getting something for free. She doesn't want to. These are all very laudable things. Of course, someone does bestow charity upon her, and a kind of superficial reading might be that, oh, the brother is just treated worse by the universe, no one bestows charity upon him. There's a point in this book where people are herding pigs, and one of them, or rather one of their younger brothers, is thrown off the edge of a cliff by this stampeding herd, along with some of the pigs. And there's a point where Cullen is essentially accused of either not helping him or provoking this, and they just decide, okay, well, we have to hang this guy, which is sort of speaking to something else about the nature of justice and revenge and the need for catharsis in a group. And this, I kind of thought that this is a bit of a ridiculous reaction, right? Because he didn't do anything. His inaction in some ways led to their death. But on reflection, actually, no, he really missed out on something big here. He could have saved this kid's life with possibly not very much effort. I mean, I'm only able to read the text, and McCarthy doesn't explicitly tell us if he could or couldn't have saved him, but in my interpretation, I think he could have saved him. Culler could have made himself a hero. He could have been valued, and he could have gone with these people and made something of his life. He could have gone and driven this amazing cargo off, and either got a chunk of that or became part of the crew and joined a profitable enterprise. I want to connect that to another scene where he's imprisoned and he has to work for the state for 50 cents a day. And he's talking to the judge and he says, "Oh, can I stay on afterwards?" And it's like, well, you want to work for 50 cents a day? He has no ambition. His ultimate goal in life is just to wander around aimlessly. Now, he does say that he's looking for the sister, he's got to find her. But at one point he does find her, and they just have relations again, and nothing happens. If he were to be redeemed, he would have to say to her, "Look, I'm going to make a go of it, come back with me, I'm going to do this job, I'm going to do this for work." In the start of the book, they're in this cabin, and they have I believe it's an English shotgun, a very high-quality piece of kit, which she inherited from her father, and that's another thing, that their family is just absent. They're kind of in this cabin, sort of already shunned by society in a way, or perhaps turning away from society. This guy, Culler, he could have been a trapper. He could have gone out and, he could have sold furs, he could have sold animal fat, he could have done a lot of things. He just threw the opportunity away and sold it for probably a very bad deal. Now, there was a point when I started enjoying this book, when I kind of got into the characters a bit more, and that was when they revealed the age of the sister. And I won't say what it is, but she's very young, and that kind of makes me think that the relationship that they've had, this sinful, incestuous relationship, isn't a new thing. It goes way back, and they've been doing this for a long time. So this character Culler is, in a way, the sort of lost boy archetype. He's not going to grow up, he's never going to take responsibility. Whereas the sister, now, she has come of age, she is taking responsibility. She doesn't necessarily succeed in that, but nevertheless, she makes an attempt, which is laudable in itself. The story is a tragedy, ultimately. It's a tragedy in a lot of ways, apart from the deaths of certain characters, also of loss of potential, and the loss on perhaps the death of Culler's human spirit. To reiterate, I would recommend this book, and thank you all very much for watching.